I just got back from an incredible vacation in Prague and in Lisbon, meeting my son over in Prague, but going, of course, with my girlfriend. Fantastic. I thought it was going to be a pure vacation time. Historic sites, new cultures, maybe finally trying that famous Portuguese wine. And Czech wine isn't so bad either, just so you know. A lot of walking. But here's what I didn't expect. A few conversations on this trip completely shifted how I think about retirement planning. Strolling past these 600-year-old buildings in Prague, unbelievable, I found myself wondering, how do they even plan for the upkeep on structures that last this long? That got me thinking about the long-term planning in general. So later I started digging into how the Czechs approach retirement. I found that the Czech system, the pension system, takes a very structured three-pillar approach. A state pension funded by payroll taxes, employer-sponsored contributions, and voluntary personal savings and investments, of course. Now, it's clear, simple, and meant to balance stability with personal responsibility. In other words, generational thinking, which is in action here. Over dinner, we met an American couple who had retired to Portugal. We stayed there for quite a few days. And they told us that when they applied for residency, they only needed to show about $1,000 a month in reliable passive income. So dual residency is definitely possible. And for years, many retirees also enjoyed a flat 10% tax rate on foreign pensions under a special regime. Now, that program has since changed for new applicants, but existing residents are still benefiting from it. The bigger point here is geography alone can potentially double or triple the value of your retirement income. On our last night, my son pointed out that I have been talking more about the Czech pension system and that dinner in Lisbon than about the castles or the beaches. So now he was right. More castles, of course, in Prague, being that it's surrounded by other countries. More beaches, but plenty of castles in Lisbon for your Portugal lovers. Now, what fascinated me wasn't the mechanics of their systems. It was the clarity of values behind them. It was simple. It was sustainable and definitely purposeful. Here's my challenge to you. Think about the most surprising place that you've learned something about money or retirement. Was it a random conversation, or was it a travel experience? Something that made you completely rethink your approach. I'd love to hear the comments that you have. So please, I guarantee someone else needs to hear your insight, as I'd love to talk more about mine.